Hey everybody, Mike McWilliams upstairs to the right music. In part one of our series regarding the Vox AC4, we talked about the history of the amp going back to 1964, and then we fast forwarded to its modern version, the AC4C 112. We also did a little bit of retubing in the modern version in order to improve the sound. We took those Chinese tubes out and we put in a couple of vintage RCA 12AX7s we put in there. In part two, we built a custom pedal board that gave you some of the options that were lacking on the AC4C112 that you got in its bigger brothers, the AC15 and AC30. Now in part three, I'd like to show you one more modification that I made to the overall cabinet design that I think really gets you there 100% to that classic Vox sound. Now, as you know, the vintage Vox, the 1964 version, had an open back design. An open back design to a small amp such as this one, or any amp for that matter, what it's going to do is it's going to cut that low end out and it's going to situate those highs. It's going to get that sound coming out to basically accentuate the acoustics of whatever room you're in. And in the case of the Vox, it is one of the key factors, I think, to why you have that chimey high end to it. Now, for some reason or another, when they designed the modern version, the AC4C112, they decided to do it with a closed back. Now, when you have a closed back design, especially in a small amp like this one, what you're doing is you're truncating your highs and you're boosting those lows. You're getting a lot of low end in that. So a lot of people felt that this amp sounded boxy. It didn't have that chime, that high-end chime that a classic Vox would have. And I think it had nothing to do with the speaker, the 7080, the selection that it came with, and everything to do with the fact that it was a closed-back design for some reason. So this is the original back to my AC4C112. As you can see, it is a closed-back design. One of the other issues that this amp was having, I believe, because of the design, was heating. After you had it on for a while, it really got hot. It was emanating a lot of heat. Now, it did have venting here down at the bottom, and on the top of the amp there is a vent as well for cooling it down, but I thought that sonically and for heating issues, this would benefit a great deal better off by following the original vintage design and giving it an open back. So here is my solution to that. I went to a wood shop and did a little measurements of the original back to get it exactly correct, cut it, and I added this really nice open back design to it. So now this thing it's not trapping those low ends anymore. It's letting the speaker ring out, and you know, the back as well as the front, you're getting that really classic Vox chiminess to it. I thought I was going to change the speaker out of here, but actually I'm quite happy with it now that I've made this change. And so don't have the heating issues either anymore. Just for a few bucks, you know, and a little bit of cutting, a little bit of woodwork, you can do this as well. What I'll probably do is also eventually I'll spray paint this black so that it matches the rest of the cabinet. Right now that's just a cosmetic thing, it's not really important. And at least this way you can really see the depths of the woodwork that was done in order to give this amp an open back design. So this is a design change that you can do easily, no problem. Costs you a couple of bucks. Really makes a world of difference, and I highly recommend you doing it. So that's it for this three-part series regarding the Vox AC4C112. I really hope you enjoyed viewing this series as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. This is my first time doing a three-parter on a piece of equipment, but I think there was a lot there. There was certainly a lot of meat on the bone, so to speak. This is a fantastic amp. If you have one and this series helped you out and gave you a couple ideas of some improvements that you can do to your amp, hit the like button. If you really like what you saw in this series, hit the subscribe button, because I promise you we're going to bring you a lot more like it. Until the next show, you guys take care, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Like the show? Well, show your support by subscribing and hitting the like button. See you later.